So I paused my job as a management consultant with a good salary to live on my savings and make a bet on YouTube. And today I want to talk with you about why I'm doing that. My name is Sarah and I'm an engineer and management consultant who have taken a break to try to figure out how I can live more true to myself. Having similar thoughts? Join me to see how far we can go together. I want to work with something where I feel like I can make a difference. I don't necessarily need to be at the front of the barrier and screaming or being at the cover of things, but I just want to feel that I have contributed to something that's greater than myself. One of the things that I am really curious about and want to someday work with is to make people feel better about themselves and understanding how they can live more in harmony, both with themselves but also with their surroundings. And this also includes that I want people to feel like they're competent enough to be able to handle their own lives. This is something that I saw in a reel quite recently. I can paste it in here.
For the rest of your life, you have to take care of this human. Most of us have not realized that that's our job. We finish our parenting where we were raised by somebody else. We go out into the world and we start looking for someone else to show up for us. But we are our human. The only person who's truly here to take care of Matthew is me.
And it is so hard to take care of that little human if we don't know what the needs of it are. We are different from each other. What I need is not necessarily what you need. And we need to take that in consideration too. It's a lot of things that are just poking off our attention and wants our time. A lot of these things are doing great things for our society. But I also think that we get a little bit lost in it because we forget to listen to ourselves. And if we don't listen to ourselves, then it will be a hard time to understand what we need. I think many of us feel like we have this quite predicted path that a lot of people surrounding us are following right now. I really want to make it clear that it's nothing wrong with following that path, but I would just want us to be aware, consciously take the decision to actually follow the path, or to consciously make the decision that that path isn't right for you. And I believe that the earlier you're making these conscious decisions, the happier you will be in the end of your life. And I will make clear, I'm not a monk. I'm not an award-winning psychiatrist, but I am a normal human being. Woo! I think that I can be relatable for people. I've grown up in a Swedish family and I've always followed this good girl path, you know, going from getting good grades in the high school to the university where I took my engineering exam and then I got a job as a management consultant after that. But by time, I feel like I've grown off that path more and more. And throughout the last years, I've really collected some tools and mindset that have helped me deeply and that I've realized that not many around me have. So I hope that I can bring some new perspectives to the table, but also to unite different worlds. I really enjoy taking these quite complex theories sometimes or complex descriptions of something and making it quite simple. I like the doodling parts, as you've seen, my little doodle buddy, because a picture explains more than 1,000 words, right? I'm trying to use that doodling thing together with how I communicate to actually make things more understandable for the ones that needs it. I've also dived quite deeply into my mind regarding the intuition and logic, and I've tried to find how these two connect, but also how I can use them both in different kind of decisions to know that I'm making the right one for me right now. I also want to make sense of things that might feel too far for you to reach. And to bridge the gaps, you don't have to be a monk to be able to meditate, for example. You could just be you and still create the life that your mind desires and enjoy it along the way. I will also try to challenge myself and to share my journey along the way, because I'm far from perfect and I don't think that we will ever be, but I want to constantly try to iterate my life right now to feel like I'm doing the best for myself in these situations. I want to share my real thoughts, things that people might hesitate to talk about or to formulate. Share both ups and downs without a filter, because that's for me is a safe space that I want to create, and an honest picture of how life can be sometimes. It's also so important to give our brain a break, to make time for reflection. So I want to create reminders to us that we need to take that space to just rest. And lastly, I also want to create a space where our emotions are valued, both the good and the bad ones.
Which, spoiler, there are no bad feelings.
All the emotions have a function, and we can talk more about that later. And I just want us to accept ourselves with all the fallbacks that we have, with all the emotions, with all the thoughts, to in the end be able to love ourselves for that. All sides of ourselves. I want to be a part of creating a community where we can be inspired, and a place where we cheer for each other and help each other to create the life that we want to live. A life more true to ourselves. I want to give you both like empowerment and the feeling of strength, and that you can fix things in your life that you want to and change your life the way you want. But I also want to give you a space where you can just land and feel calm. Because that's what we own, this little human. We even don't have to like it at first, but just take your responsibility at doing your job. If you want to tag along on this journey, then please hit the subscribe button and maybe also hit the like, so that I know that you like what I'm doing. Comment below if there's anything that you would like to see, or thoughts that you're struggling with right now. And I'm truly looking forward to this journey.